going on YouTube? Today we're going to change the hydros on the 3200Z. It's been raining all night and today, so y'all don't go nowhere. I'm going to get right to it. Alright guys, I'm going to be using a 1/2 inch swivel with a 1 1/8 socket to take these off right here. That's where your oil filters are going to be for the hydros. And I just spent a lot of time blowing everything off under here. They had a lot of dirt and dust and all kind of stuff. So I spent a little extra time kind of blowing all that stuff out. But first thing you want to do is jack up your mower. So I've got these blocks over here, right over there. Yeah, I took the wheels off just to get better access underneath the machine, just so nothing's in the way. This is the second time I've changed the hydros on this mower. It's got 5 quarts in each of these hydros that's going to leak out, so you're going to need a pretty hefty bin to collect it all. And the last time I had my jack stands a little too far back, so whenever I stuck this under it, I wasn't directly under it, so I had a lot of spillage. So this time I made sure I had enough clearance. So what I'm going to do is loosen these bolts right here, or caps, whatever you want to call it, to get access to the oil filter and drain out the fluid. You want to make sure that the engine is not hot whenever you do this. Do it after the engine's been sitting for a long time and nothing's been warmed up, because you don't want to burn yourself. Because when you pull this out, you're going to have oil coming out in a hurry. So I got the oil dripping out. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the reservoir cap at the top, and I'm going to pull the oil filter out at the bottom. And that's just going to let it flow out faster. So you want to use needle nose to get this out. Very difficult. Not so hard without the camera though. Get you a good grip on it, and it'll come right out, as you can see. You just pull it all the way out. Let that drip out. Alright, so there's the part number to the hydro filter. That's what it looks like right here. Should have an O-ring and a filter. Alright, so what you want to do is first wipe your cap off that you just pulled. Assuming it's going to be pretty nasty and dirty. Doesn't have to be spotless, but you know, get most of it clean. Alright, I'm going to get a little hook tool just to pull this old O-ring off. Just supply you with a new one every time you change it, so put you a new one on just like so, and that one's ready to go back. Whenever you stick the filter in, you want to stick it in this way, and then the cap screws on. Alright, so we're still dripping just a little bit. I'm not too concerned about that. The majority of it's out. Okay, so you want to come in from the bottom, and it's really tight up in there to get it in and out because of this bar that's right here. But it's not too bad. Get it in there, and then you want to seat it. You'll hear it, it'll snap right in. And then get your cap and screw it in. Go ahead and get that started. So I got an impact that I took it off and I'm going to put it back on with, but I'm using the low setting. This is how I did it last time and I didn't have any problems, so hopefully I won't have a problem again. But the reason I have this swivel is because of this bar right here. I can't get it straight on, and this allows me to get just enough. And I might just bump it just like so, and that's probably tight enough. That's how I did it last time. I'm gonna make sure I got everything dried off real good and wiped down, and I'll keep an eye on it, make sure it's not leaking once I fill it. And these are the Hydro Gear ZT-5400 transaxles. I'm going to drain the other side now. Again, I've got it on the low setting. I'm going to pull this in so I don't get my floor messy. There we go. And we are gushing out. I'm going to go clean this up. Alright, I'm going to wait for that to slow down, and then I'm going to put my filter in and my cap. So I've had this dripping all the while and I forgot to pull the darn filter out. Let me get that on out of there. Messy, messy. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this filter in. Let's see if I can come in from the top. I'm pretty sure I can. Yep, there it goes. It's a real tight fit. Make sure you don't cross thread this. Make sure you get it tightened all the way by hand first. And don't forget to put your new O-ring on here before you stick it in too. And I'll go ahead and tighten that back up. Got it set on the lowest setting. I'm going to bump it about 3 times. Maybe 4. So right here, right where my socket is going, it's a 7/16 bolt. And what you want to do is pull that out. And try not to break these plastic fins on this fan. Okay. And the reason you're taking this out is whenever you start filling the oil in the reservoir, this is going to allow it to flow in easier, and also you're going to have to watch it towards the end, and when that oil starts spewing out of there, that means it's full. This is the right wheel motor you're looking at right now. It's a little easier to get to, so I'm going to show you on camera that side probably, because this side, let's see here, side's a little tougher to get to because it's got this right here in the way, but it's not a big deal. Alright, I've removed the bolt. Like I said, you want to keep an eye on that whenever you fill the reservoirs, and that way it's going to flow easier, and you'll see it come out once it gets full. And once the oil comes out, stop pouring, put your bolt back in. Also wanted to show you right here, in case you need to figure out how to release the hydros, in case you need to push them over or change the oil. That's the instructions for it. Basically just a big flathead screwdriver, and you quarter turn it. It also lists what type of oil to put in the machine, so just to make a note of that. Okay, so you see this right here, that you're going to need to do a quarter turn in order to release the hydro pump. Alright, so I got this screwdriver. It's a number 3 flathead screwdriver, and I'm just sticking it in. This is the right wheel motor. It's all the way to the front bottom. You're going to want to release the motor by turning it to the left, like so. And it's going to be in the upright position. And you're going to do the same thing on the other wheel motor. Only you're going to turn it right. Alright, so I got my oil here. I'm going to be using the O'Reilly motor oil, the 20W50. That's what it calls for, 20W50. I've got the synthetic oil here, but I'm not going to be rolling that in those hydros because it's one of these jugs in each one of them, and that's pretty expensive for hydros. I ran the cheap oil last time. I think there's castor oil in it, so I'm going to run this one this year in it. I think it's going to be just fine. But like I said, one of these in each one of the reservoirs. Alright, so I got my funnel. I'm going to pour in the back reservoir, which is your right wheel motor. And in case you get confused, just follow the hose. The hose goes right to the motor. You're going to pour the oil very carefully. Alright, you're going to want to slow down because the reservoir is getting full. You don't want to top it off. You're going to let it get slowly drip into the wheel motor. So just be patient and give a few minutes and let that go down. And actually, while you're waiting, you can go ahead and pour into the front one. Try not to make a mess here. I'm going to take my other jug, that way I know exactly how much is going in each, and pour in it. Whoa! Alright, there it goes. So this side has gone down a couple of inches already. Not too bad. We'll pull this funnel out soon. It should be good. Looks kind of pretty under that light. Go ahead and pour a little more in there. So it takes a little while, as you can see. But it's going down, slowly but surely. So you can see it's going down a little bit. I'm going to pour some more in. You don't want to overfill it. So I've got about 3/4 of the jug poured so far. I think once you get to that point, from now on, just you want to kind of keep an eye on this hole down here and watch for it to overflow as you pour it. I'm going to put some more in this one. So I'm keeping track of which one is which. This one's in the front reservoir. Alright, for some reason the back one is draining faster than the front, that's for sure. It's all the way empty already, let's see. So I got my little flashlight on my hole over here. So I'm going to keep an eye on, well, as I'm filling this, I'm also going to be keeping an eye on that to make sure it doesn't overflow down there. We've got probably a third to a quarter of this 5-quart jug left. And I'm just going to pour it. Till it gets about halfway down there. But you want to keep an eye on this and make sure it's not coming out through there. That's going to be your full mark. So I'm going to dump the whole thing in there. As you can see, it's about half, maybe 3/4 full. Alright, we're just going to keep an eye on that.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I put the bolt in, and this is how much is in there with the whole jug. That way you have enough room for it to expand. Alright, so I got the right wheel motor full. I'm going to go ahead and put the top on it so no trash or anything falls in it. If you look at the level, it's probably about right here. Just under the half mark pretty much. Actually, you can tell by this indentation right here. Once it gets close to there, more than likely it's going to start coming out of that hole right there. And I'm just going to be ready. I'm just going to be ready to put this back in. Probably not going to be able to get that on camera because it's such a tight fit and I need to act fast. Alrighty, let's see. There you go. You can see it had a little bit spilled out. As soon as that starts spilling out, hurry up and put your bolt in. Make sure you don't cross thread it and make sure you don't drop it and lose it. So go ahead and snug that down, and don't forget to put your tops back on before you go any further. Alright, what I did there is I just went back and forth to, I guess, to purge it, I guess you want to call it. That's just to make sure there's no air in the line or anything like that. And just to make a note, you don't have to take the tires off. I just like to do it, I don't know, have a little bit more access underneath there. And plus I like to go ahead and grease all these little spots on the rear control arms and all that. Plus I like to clean everything too. So now I have to re-engage the hydros, and I'm going to just do that with my screwdriver. Now if you ever have to do this when it's on the ground and the tires are on it, and it's, you know, a little harder to get to, drop your deck all the way low, and then reach right across, here, and then turn your valve back. But since it's jacked up, I'm just going to get underneath and turn it back. I'm gonna put the wheels back on, jack it up, drop it down, and we'll go try it out. I'm just gonna go and take it for a ride, make sure everything's working right. Hope that was helpful, guys. Like I did a video, I'm going to leave a card if you want to watch the other video doing this process. I just wanted to do a different take. Hope this helps. Till next time, y'all, mow on.